Welcome back. Now, it's fascinating when we start to think about what's happening in the skies above us. And if you haven't time to think about what's happening in the skies above us, I think you will be fascinated when you meet our regular guest, David Moore from Astronomy Ireland. David, it's great to have you here again.
Thank you very much.
What are the big things happening in your calendar? Let's take them one by one. Now, I know you're on Jupiter watch at the moment.
Yes, Jupiter during September is closer to us than it has been for 12 years, or will be for 12 years more. So you can see it with the naked eye. It's by far the brightest star-like object in the sky, high in the south-southeast. As soon as it gets dark, all you have to do is go outside and look for the brightest thing up there. It's not actually a star, it's the planet Jupiter. So it's much closer, much smaller. But because it's so close to the sun, being lit up so brightly, it shines brighter than any of the stars.
Right. How does Jupiter rank in the sort of the planetary world?
Well, we have a photograph showing it up close, as you'd see through a powerful telescope, but certainly with a spacecraft. And it's the biggest planet going around the sun. To give you some idea, the red spot that you can see on Jupiter is a huge swirling hurricane that's bigger than the Earth. You'd fit 11 Earths across Jupiter, or if you made a plasticine model of the Earth, you'd have to squash about 1,000 of them together to make a ball as big as Jupiter. So it's a colossal planet. It's over 5 times further from the sun than we are, though, so it never comes particularly close. But once a year it will line up and be prominent in the evening sky, and it has a slight egg-shaped orbit, which means every 12 years it actually comes a little bit closer, and that's what we're experiencing this month.
And there's no hope that there might be life on Jupiter, will there?
Not on the planet itself.
No.
It looks lovely in those photographs, but the colour's been a little bit exaggerated, more whitey, creamy colour when you look at it through a telescope. And if you could touch the cloud tops, even where it's warmest, the temperature is minus 130 degrees centigrade, so your fingers would all freeze and you could snap them off one by one like icicles. But there are moons going around Jupiter, and you can see those even in binoculars. Our own magazine has a diagram showing you how to identify them just with ordinary binoculars every night. And some of those are made of water and rock mixed together, and we think the gravity of Jupiter is heating up the water, melting it, even though it's very far from the sun and freezing cold normally, and there could be organic compounds in that water which could have created life the same way we think it got started on the Earth's oceans billions of years ago. So we don't know for sure, but the hot tip for life in the solar system apart from the Earth is the moons of Jupiter.
Very good. And Jupiter does feature in all of your calendar for September, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sort of dominates the calendar at the moment. All the other planets have gone behind the sun, as if to leave the stage clear for Jupiter. Yeah. If you've got a telescope, it's a fantastic sight. You can see its disk in even the smallest telescope, even though it's 500 billion miles away. And you'll see its moons going around as well. So it's as well as that, it's going to pass near the planet Uranus. In fact, they're technically closest on September the 18th, but for a week either side that date, if you hold your binoculars and aim them at Jupiter, it's a brilliant star in the south, this little star just above Jupiter, that's actually the planet Uranus. And very few people in the world have ever seen Uranus, because you can't see it with the naked eye. You need a pair of binoculars. So this is your chance to join an extremely elite club of people who've seen the planet Uranus, which is about half the size of Jupiter, but it's about 4 times further away from the sun than Jupiter is.
And do we know much more about Uranus? I mean, is it?
Oh yeah, we had spacecraft fly by Uranus. The first one was in 1986. A fantastic probe called Voyager. So it did a grand tour. There were 2 craft which flew past Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, and sent us back the only close-up spacecraft pictures we've had of the outer planets. And Uranus, it turns out, is another gas giant. Jupiter's mostly made of gas, unlike the Earth, which is mostly rock. The air just gets thicker the deeper down you go on Jupiter. Uranus is the same. It's still 4 times bigger than the Earth, even though it only looks like a dot in your binoculars.
I know a lot of people have got quite excited about seeing Jupiter with the naked eye, and have actually, did you know that is? And they're pointing it out, which is great. And they're getting kind of hooked on the whole astronomy thing. You have classes for people like that, haven't you?
We do indeed. And on Jupiter, 2 things I should briefly mention. One is that on September 22nd, 23rd, we have a diagram showing this. The moon will be near Jupiter, as if you needed a signpost. That's going to be a really spectacular sight, the full moon right next to the planet. And then on the 30th of September, we're having Jupiter watches all over the country, details on our website. But the evening classes, you'll learn about Jupiter, but all the other planets and the stars and the whole universe, how to use telescopes, how to learn your way around the sky. There are 8 night classes held in 10 different venues all around Ireland. So you should find one near you. And you can go along. It's aimed at beginners, and we'll try and teach you in 2 hours every night for 8 weeks. That's 8 classes, the entire universe. So it's a bit of a tall order, but it's great fun. And if you want to sign up for those classes, they're enrolling now. Astronomy.ie is where you'll get all the information.
Now, it's not a classroom format, is it? I mean, it's more fun than that?
It's very informal. So some people want it to lead on to a university course. They might want to do a distance learning course or even go to university. There are now 6 universities in Ireland that have astronomy degree courses. So you could take it that far. But if you just want to go along and listen to 8 talks about different aspects of the universe and just sit back and relax, you can do it that way as well. We don't mind. It's all aimed at people who have no knowledge of science, no knowledge of mathematics, no equations in it. There's no homework either. So it can be great fun, but some people do actually use it to go on to courses of study.
Yeah, and of course some of your back catalogue magazines would be a good place to start, wouldn't they, to prep?
Yeah, we have loads of those in our shop out in Artane. You can actually see them on our website as well, astronomy.ie. And our magazine goes back, this is our 20th year now. We still have some of the first issue we ever produced, a collector's item, back in 1990. And you'll see all that on the website. And if you want to sign up for the magazine, this is our 20th anniversary year. And normally you get 12 copies of the magazine. It comes out every month for your €48 a year subscription. But you'll actually get 20 copies. You're getting 8 free if you join up during our 20th year.
Right. Now, you've been going on a bit, I think, on astronomyireland.ie about a fireball in the sky. Tell us about that.
Earlier in the month, we had this massive fireball that exploded at 9:20 on Wednesday, the 1st of September. And that was a phenomenal sight. I was actually indoors. The International Space Station was flying over at the time as well. I was set to go out at 9:50 to watch that. So I was doing other things, missed it, but thousands of people around the country saw it. We were flooded with reports. It was on the front page of the Star newspaper, and lots of other newspapers carried it as well. We got great publicity about it. People were sending in all the reports, and we were analysing exactly where we think it landed. And if you join our free mailing list on our website, the Friends of Astronomy Ireland, then we'll actually be announcing if anyone finds anything and where we think it fell. At the moment, we think it's probably the southwest of the country, but until we get hundreds of reports in and analyse them all, it's very hard to triangulate because people are seeing a big flash in the sky up to 100 miles above the Earth, and pinpointing the exact drop zone is not easy. But we did do it in 1999, and the meteorite was found, and eventually a collector was selling parts of it for 50 times the price of gold.
Wow. That it is.
So if anyone finds it, it could be a bit of a windfall. A much needed one in today's economy.
Well, actually, talking about money there, I know people are very price conscious at the moment. I should have asked you really how much the classes cost, just briefly.
The classes are €130 for the 8 classes. There are some other classes around the country that cost more, and we're very proud to be good value for money. And you also get a subscription to our magazine, which costs €48. There's a book and a little pack that you can get if you want to take it a bit further as well, but you get those on the first night.
David, thank you very much indeed for coming in and talking to us. A pleasure.
My pleasure.
Always. And that's our lot from the evening show. Join us again tomorrow for some more great guests. See you then.